Hello, and a very, very warm welcome. I think my camera is pointing in the wrong direction. Welcome to Camelot Castle TV network, the free speech, anti-lockdown, anti-psychiatric operation that is being played out on planet Earth. And I have to say, wonderful to have you here. Now, we are broadcasting today from Lady Mappin's Facebook account, but of course I am banned. We are also on my YouTube account. Please subscribe to these things to make sure, and please share this. I have some fantastic news for everybody today, so please share this before I get into the good news. It is really, really amazing, and I'm going to share this with you. You are going to be among the very, very first to know this news, and it really is great news. It spells the end of lockdown, and it is a technology, a new technology. Hello, Henrik. Nice to see you. Nice to see you. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, can you hear me? We've got some good news. I think we're freezing up here. I don't know what's going on with it's frozen on your phone. How are we doing now? Can you hear me now? I think you can hear me. Las Vegas, Mary Arnold is with us from Las Vegas. Anyway, we do have some great news. Is the sound, can you hear me now? Is the sound good for everybody? Sound is fine. Okay, listen, we do have some good news. Now, there is a young man in Cornwall, and he is a lovely, lovely man, and we know him as Wayne, and he is a marvelous, marvelous man. Can everybody hear? Camera is frozen. You can hear unfrozen. I think we're unfrozen now. I've got to tell you about, oh dear, now something else is going on. I've got all these windows open on the computer. The problem is I am not very technically expert. Welcome to Camelot Castle Tea. For those of us that have just joined us, I have some fantastic news for you, and here we go. I'm going to try and deliver it now. There is a man in Cornwall who has not just been complaining about lockdown, but he has been doing something about the lockdown. And he has been getting behind a company that has been producing a new technology that will allow all of us to get out of lockdown much, much faster. And I have to take my hat off to this young man. His name is Wayne. I'm not going to give you his surname because he's a very private man. But Wayne, I'm just going to call him Wayne the Magician. And he is somewhat of a magician, because he predicted that this company would basically come up with a test that works in 5 minutes, and it does not require either the anal swab or the swab up one's nose, neither of which apparently is much fun. And today he has been telling me about this company, and to be honest with you, next time Wayne says something to me, I am going to seriously pay attention, because the stock of this company on Monday morning, and I never make stock predictions, but I will make a prediction that on Monday morning, this company's stock is through the roof. Let me show you what is going on. And here is the article, and here we have it. 5-minute COVID tests set to reopen nightclubs, theatres and sports events. And let's just, I will read you this. Now, a British-made COVID test that gives results in just 5 minutes is expected to be at the heart of Boris Johnson's plans to reopen live events, nightclubs, schools and hospitality, Huffington Post UK can reveal. A lateral flow test developed by Yorkshire biotech firm Avacta boasts a higher accuracy than American devices, currently imported in huge numbers by the government, but is also much faster. The UK has spent more than $1 billion on tests made by the US company Innova, which is a test time result of around 30 minutes. But the rival Avacta test gives results in between 5 and 10 minutes, a factor that could suddenly make viable so-called operated moonshot plans to open up theatres, cinemas and sports stadiums. It is understood that the final assessment of the British test has been conducted by the government's Porton Down laboratory, and industry insiders predict that it will be published either to coincide with the PM's COVID roadmap or soon after. Johnson this week floated the idea of the impact of such tests could have, saying lateral flow tests could be used for the toughest nuts to crack, theatres or nightclubs, for example, areas of the economy that we couldn't get to open last year. Most of the controversial test and trace service £22 billion budget is now going on testing rather than contact tracing, with nearly 70% of its $7 billion extra from the Treasury going on lateral flow tests. The bulk of test spending has gone to US firm Innova, which manufactures its products in China, but British biotech companies are seen by several government insiders as better for the taxpayer and the UK economy. Once regulators approve the Avacta test, it is expected to be ready for rollout in huge numbers across the country by early April. Specialist British manufacturers BBI and Abington, which produce the Avacta design test, are on track to help meet a target of providing 2 million tests a day after Easter. Another UK test, developed by a company called More Logic, offers results within 5 to 10 minutes, and the Department of Health and Social Care is currently waiting on trial results to give either or both approval. Anyway, you can read the article at the Huffington Post, but this article, this is actually a leak, I'm informed, and the true data is going to come out on Monday. But I have to say, Wayne, you did it, and I want to thank you, Wayne, because it's one thing talking about things, it's another thing putting your own money behind a British invention and making sure that that British invention makes it to the market. And Wayne, just between you and me and the gatepost, has been doing an incredible job in championing Avacta. And he deserves all the money that he is going to make out of getting into this opportunity early and doing well out of it. Because, of course, he did tell all of his friends that this would be a good thing. And, he'd done his research. And I have to say that this test looks as if it could be a complete game changer for the economy. And that's what we need to do. We have children committing suicide. We have mothers. A terrible story Anna Breeze told me today of a mother, aged 31, who had to stop her chemo and was stopped because of COVID from doing the chemo. She died because she couldn't continue her chemo treatment from her cancer, and she's left behind a 5-year-old boy. Now, that's what lockdown has meant to that 5-year-old child. We have children committing suicide. We have children getting depressed at the age of 10. We have children being put on psychiatric drugs. Remember, this entire strategy is all part of one big plan by psychiatrists. And you really do need to get a grip. Everybody here, please Google cchr.org. Watch all the videos on there. Understand what psychiatrists are doing to the world. Understand what psychiatrists are doing to the world. The Huffington Post article, somebody's just asked, there it is, 5-minute COVID tests set to reopen nightclubs, theatres and sports events. That's on the Huffington Post. And this is a very, very important breakthrough. As I said, we're tests for COVID, Hannah, and the point is whether or not we agree with COVID testing. I'd rather there be no testing at all, but the problem is that the psychiatrists have brainwashed our population into believing that there is something to be scared of in relation to COVID. And so these people are not venturing out of their houses or going on holidays or getting on aeroplanes without a test. Personally, I'd rather do without it altogether. I don't particularly believe in anything but boosting one's own immunity. That's my thing, and that's what my doctor has told me. My doctor has told me that these masks are harmful and that that they wouldn't go anywhere near any of the treatments being offered. But that's my doctor. I have, and I make sure that I try and find the best experts in any subject where I'm taking medical treatment. But, it's up to you what you do. But a lot of people out there have been terrified by the psychiatrists. They've been absolutely terrified. Here we go, Andy Burton. There is the link to the article. And I just want to use this broadcast to personally thank Wayne, who is a Cornish citizen, born and bred Cornish, and he is the guy who has put his money behind making sure that this breakthrough is available to the country. And I think that is a fantastic thing to have done, and well done him for doing it, because what it's actually going to be able to do, is going to be able to open up the economy. It's going to be able to, so do share this link, share it on Facebook. This is brilliant news. All of those people that are terrified, that are scared, you know what? You can test each other every 4 minutes now, or every 5 minutes. You can do a test. You can walk 100 yards down the road. You can do another test. You can walk into the butcher's. You can do another test. You can be testing yourself all day long if you want to, and be as paranoid as you like. And there you go. So that's what you can do. This is the great thing about testing. And of course, the great thing is, it is British. It's a British thing. It's something that Europe doesn't have. It's something that Europe hasn't developed. And I don't know, are we going to give it to the Europeans? Should we give it to the Europeans? Maybe we should. Maybe we should see what they're going to do about our fish. But yeah. Hannah Cahan says, I mean, if it's like the Golden Bridge for them to retreat over, it's okay. Hannah, that's my point. That's my point. I know that we couldn't give a stuff about whether, we had COVID or didn't have COVID. It doesn't bother us at all. But a lot of people out there have been brainwashed into this idea that as soon as you catch COVID, you are, likely to end up in a coffin within about 10 minutes. This is just simply not true. I know many people that have had it, and one fellow said to me the other day he's had it, and he said he didn't take a day off work. It was no bother for him at all. So, see, Nancy says, why do you have to have a test? For a flu-like 98.8% cure rate, ridiculous. I see billions for some corporations. No dang test needed. Duh. Why not tell folks to boost their immune system? Really, no need for a test for a flu-like virus. Thanks, John, for finally mentioning boost your darn immune system. You know what, Nancy, beautiful young lady that you are, can I say, you are right. But not everybody agrees with you. And we are living in a world where not everybody is as sane as you and I. Not everybody is as sane as you and I. And not everybody is as educated as you or I. And not everybody has taken the time to get as educated as you or I. We understand what the actual risks of COVID are. But guess what? Not everybody else does. And the idea that these tests are available, that they can be used, that people really can have access to them, and that it's going to get the economy opening, because I can tell you, the level of depression is up by 3 or 4 times. We're seeing it here in Cornwall. In America, it is a war zone. Children as young as 8 are committing suicide. Mothers are not getting the cancer treatments that they need. 31-year-old mother died yesterday, left behind a 5-year-old son because she was denied cancer treatment. These are the stories that are going to shape people's lives. And, exactly, Kate Snyder says, for those living in fear, if it means they don't have to control the rest of us, great. That's my point. And that's why I'm saying a big thank you to Wayne. It's fantastic. And you know what? I do expect the Avacta share price to be up on Monday, and I'd be very surprised if it wasn't. But let's see what happens. Now, what else has been going on? All sorts of things. We had, who did we have here today? We had our very, very good friend Alfie Best was with us, and some of you saw he flew in. that was Alfie arriving 2 days ago. And my God, we have some fun. We had some great fun. We discussed some great business. And what a great man he is. Wildcrest Homes doing a fantastic job. Do you realize, and you should all look into this, because Wildcrest has actually solved the housing problem for the UK. And not many people know that. But you should really look into their business model, look into Wildcrest Parks. Really, really interesting. And what Alfie Best has done is, I think he's up to his 98th residential park homes. He has 98 parks now across the UK. And I tell you what, he flew back in here last night and it was pretty windy. And I'm going to show you that. I actually filmed the landing last night and you can see what a powerful machine the EC-130 is. I tell you what, any other helicopter you would not want to have flown in here last night. You can see the wind around Camelot. I tell you, it raged all night, and we were worried actually. We had to weigh the chopper down overnight with cement because it was literally so windy here last night at Camelot that the entire helicopter could have blown off the cliff. But he departed this morning, and it was pretty windy this morning as well. I'll show you that departure because you'll see the power. And you know, this EC-130 is an incredible machine, but you can see it was fighting the wind as it took off this morning. So that was Alfie off and away this morning, and we had a wonderful 2 days here of business discussions. And what can I say? He's done a really amazing job for Cornwall, and you know, he's just acquired another 3 park homes down here, and three parks for residential homes, and he's done an incredible amount, and really changed the way. And a lot of people are finding that park home living is the way to go, because of course you can sell your existing house and then, you know, get into a park home, which actually they're incredibly comfortable and really beautiful places to live. So if ever you've thought about that, to take a look at Wildcrest Parks, really worth looking into. But anyway, this has all been going on. So the good news is, one of our friends, Wayne, has been one of the principal forces behind helping to get Evacta, and you know, he put his own money behind this breakthrough. And you know, see, this is the thing about what people don't realize. You know, entrepreneurs are taking risks because it may not have worked. It may not have worked. He could have put all that money behind that test, and it might not have worked. It might never have gotten to the market. But the good news is, it does look, from the look of that article anyway, as if it is coming to the market. And that's obviously where what we're trying to do here, and why we're always interested to hear about new ideas, new information. You know, Camelot Castle is really a gathering point. We say the table here is round for a reason. And so anyway, well done, Wayne. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. And I think that really help that you've given to that company is actually going to help restore the UK. So well done. Anyway, what is a park home? Kate Snyder says, a park home, go to Wildcrest, W-Y-D-E, Wild. Wildcrest, somebody put up the thing, Wildcrest Homes, or you can Google Alfie Best. You can read all about him. He's a really interesting man. But Kate Snyder says, looks pretty windy. It was pretty windy. I mean, I have to say, I would not have gone up in that chopper today, because I'm a bit of a scaredy cat when it comes to choppers. But luckily, the pilot is a military pilot. He's basically ex-military, and he really, to see the way he handled that chopper in the wind. I mean, that was about this morning. It was about a 30-mile-an-hour gusting, probably up to 50 miles an hour, and that is not an easy. It's actually, he had to wait for a pause in the wind to even start the rotor blades going. But it was very windy, very windy. So the good news about the test is that our dear friend Wayne found out about and then decided to back, and now as a result of that, and other people of course as well, getting behind it, many of Wayne's friends I think helped out. Here's the link, Huffington Post, there is now a 5-minute COVID test. So there will be no excuse. Everybody can get back to school, everybody can go to the movies. If you are COVID paranoid, you can test yourself literally every 5 minutes. And you can know within 5 minutes whether or not you have COVID. So you can be sitting there watching your favorite TV program. If you feel you've caught the COVID from watching the TV, you can shove something. It just goes on the inside of the nose, apparently. And it's a great little thing. So for those of you out there that are completely COVID paranoid, you can test yourself now to your heart's content. And yeah. So really super. It's really good. Yeah, Andy Burton says, this park home concept, we're trying to, not you have in your home, which is what the government want. Business premises are being destroyed to buy back. And I'm not quite sure I understand that, Andy. If you take a look at Wildcrest runs its game beautifully, and it's a really wonderful way of living. It's a really beautiful way of living. And actually, when you own a park home, it's actually a great way out of death duties. It's really interesting. And it's one of the reasons why the government fights it. Because, of course, the government is collecting a lot of money from death duties and from property tax. And the beauty of a park home is you actually are on the lowest tax rate. So your electricity bills are very low. And it's a fantastic way. There are many taxation advantages. Now, I'm not an expert on this, but if you go to the Wildcrest website, if ever you've thought, if you, for instance, let's say you own a property in a mobile, own a property in a city, and you've thought about downsizing, look into mobile homes. Anyway, it's been an interesting few days here. Wonderful to see you all, and I will try and do another little broadcast tonight. I actually have some friends here on business, and we will speak soon.